Hello, and welcome to Anime Audio Commentary. Today I'll be commenting on Episode 7 of My Dress Up Darling Season 2. If you'd like to watch along, then start watching now. Alright, so last we left off, the beauty pageant was an overwhelming success, and the episode sort of ended with an impromptu date between Gojo and Marin. And, we didn't get everything we wanted, speaking for myself. We got a cute little thing with the claw machine and a plushie, but photos that they would have taken themselves were sort of thwarted by classmates showing up. So, could be better, could be worse. The question is, where are things going? Because at this point in time, Marin is just sort of gossiping with her hairdressers about Gojo and how he's, great and cute and all that, but, where do things go next? Because I feel like with this pageant out of the way, essentially the stage is set for something new to happen. And while the hairdressers are talking about wanting to go on dates and wearing loose socks, as used to be the fashion, something tells me there's not much plot there. So I'm wondering if Marin's gonna start, working towards a convention or a new cosplay or something. It would be nice, just because I really like the segments of things Marin likes in universe. Because, that's one of the really interesting things about My Dress Up Darling that I appreciate, whereby she cosplays other fictional things. Oh, okay. So that's unfortunate, the hairdressers are like, oh, Marin, have you gained a little weight? And, that's kind of an imprudent thing to ask, but maybe there's some truth to that. And maybe this is the plot, Marin's gained a little bit of weight. I seem to recall an early Sailor Moon episode did the same sort of thing. But as I was saying about the cosplay, I do like all the stuff that goes into these things that Marin likes. And, I wouldn't mind it if Marin cosplayed stuff that, actually does exist, I saw, oh gosh, I can't remember who drew it, but a really nice drawing of Marin cosplaying Dark Magician Girl from Yu-Gi-Oh! And that was some supreme artwork right there. It was really good. But, I feel like Marin could probably pull off, a decent Sailor Mars or something like that. That's probably, a good niche for fan art, just having Marin cosplay a bunch of characters and things like that. Or even, official art if the mangaka were so inclined. I believe at this point in time, the source material has ended, so I don't know if we'll be getting anything more, but, it would be nice. Just a little something for the fans as a treat. Alright. So this is interesting here, you know, they're talking about idols and things like that, and how, like, this one person's sister's been becoming cuter and cuter ever since she got into this idol and all that. And I guess Marin's hoping that, like, the same effect must have occurred to her, and that would be nice, but, something tells me she's about to be reprimanded for her weight. Ooh. Yeah, just like smacking her right with it. It's like, oh yeah, you've gained some weight. So I guess that really is the plot of the episode then. Marin's been a little bit overindulgent. So it's interesting that this is such a tremendous problem. I guess it would be for models, but like, for this woman to say, like, look, the shape of your face has changed and the summer season's coming up, so like, you better, you know, get back into shape or else. And, I mean, fair enough, when you're a model, like, I suppose it is your job, so you kind of have to do it, but, I mean, for what it's worth, I see no difference in Marin. Like, I don't know if they're drawing her with a bit of extra weight, but I can't really tell. I mean, oh, okay. Well, she seems to have come to the conclusion that, you know, maybe everyone is right, and that skin-tight stuff would probably not be good. Oh dear. This is desperate indeed if she's going back to try on all the cosplay outfits, only to find that, like, oh wait a minute, they're all, you know, tight or too tight to fit into. I mean, this makes it seem like it's a dramatic amount of weight. I don't know. I guess, like, I have really no real frame of reference for any of this, but, wow. You know, it's never a good sign when you can hear the clothing creak as it strains. Like, I recognize that that top is supposed to be really tight, but... oh, boy. Oh, she's fat! Meaty! Oh, dear indeed. Like, I know they're really trying to drive a point home here, but if Marin is fat, then I am the most deviant and degenerate chubby chaser imaginable. Yeah, you know, this is one of those things where I feel like I really just can't relate to the problem at hand here, because, you know, sure, it might be a problem for her in her modeling career, but, like, I don't know, man. Like, Gojo would have to be a real special, jerk to comment on this, you know? Oh, dear. So, it seems like this has kind of been, an ongoing problem. Maybe not ongoing, but like something that's been built up to. So I guess the question is, what sort of a time frame is Marin working with, and how much does she need to lose, weight-wise? Because, like, you know, I'm not particularly fit or anything like that, but I've been working out and going to the gym and all that, and I've sort of learned just through talking to people that if you want to lose weight, you lose weight in the kitchen, and then the gym is just like a bonus on top of that. Like, the gym's how you build muscle. So... unfortunately, Marin likes to eat. You know, we've established this several times, and I guess we're really establishing it right now, considering we're seeing all the meals she's been ingesting. So unfortunately, it seems like if she wants to solve this problem, she's going to have to cut back. And, you know, maybe additionally go to the gym as well. Because, like, at least when you're going to the gym and working out and lifting weights, like, a certain unit of muscle weighs more than a certain unit of fat. So, like, you can slim down but maintain the same weight as long as you're replacing fat with muscles. So, I guess unfortunately, Gojo's unaware of this problem, and he's just giving her all sorts of food to eat. Which, you know, that's, probably counterproductive. Like, it's not like she's just eating junk food. Like, it seemed to be like fish and pickled vegetables and all that stuff. You know, things that are generally probably pretty good for you. But I don't know. he's giving her more food, which is probably not going to help matters, because she's not going to turn it down, right? And he probably made stuff she'll specifically like. Oh dear, indeed. I mean, there is, like, eating things in moderation. Like, that's probably your best bet, rather than, you know, going cold turkey and just not eating stuff you really like. It's, you know, better to only eat a little bit, but, oh no. So Marin has decided she's gonna eat more food. Maybe. You know, like, that was her impulse, at least. Eat the food when I get home. You know, whether or not she actually does it, we'll see. So now Gojo's being brought into the problem here. And he at least, you know, through his own naivety or through good luck or just, like, a sort of cunningness, like, he just says, like, look, I don't notice a difference. Which, you know, that's probably the right thing to say. I don't think it would help manage to say, like, look, you've gotten fat. Especially because I really don't think it is true. So, okay. I guess good on Gojo for saying, like, look, we can tailor the stuff to you, even if the cosplays don't fit. Like, that's alright. And I guess he's sort of rationalizing this with, like, you know, people change sizes all the time, right? Not a big deal. Although, I feel like he's being a little too permissive here. Like, I get offering to retailor everything, but if she also needs to lose weight for her career as a model, maybe, you should focus on that, you know? And I feel like Gojo probably does have, I guess, a unique position of authority to help her out here. Oh, uh-oh. You know, Gojo's witnessed how she eats dinner, and that's just perfectly normal. But what he doesn't notice is, all the other stuff she eats. Oh dear indeed. Is she gonna give him the full list of stuff she eats? You know, this has got to be a pretty embarrassing thing, but I guess if you really want to get to the heart of the problem here, you're gonna have to do it, right? I mean, at least Gojo figures it out, like, oh, you eat the stuff I give you when you get home. Oh dear. Oh, wow. That's like a look of genuine disgust, which is, like, kind of uncharacteristic for Gojo. Like, I feel like he's not being too harsh, I guess, but, oh dear. So, I guess Gojo's putting it together in his head. Like, he already kind of knows what exactly she's eating with that extra piece of the puzzle there. I guess the question is, are we gonna get a figure? Wait, wow. 50,000 calories. There's no way. That's like what Michael Phelps eats. Hold on a second. Surely that can't be correct, because, like, unless we're operating on different units here in the United States, like, the general guidance is that, like, the average adult eats 2,000 calories a day, or rather should eat 2,000 calories. 50,000 calories borders on, like, entirely unbelievable. And I mean, like, Marin eats a lot, but I feel like, you know, maybe she'd be topping out at, like, twice as much as you're supposed to eat. Because, like, Michael Phelps was, like, a world record Olympic gold medal winning swimmer. And I want to say he only ate, like, 10,000 or 12,000 calories per day. But, like, he was also doing insane, like, Olympic swimming workouts. Like, swimming laps and laps and laps and laps and laps. You know? Like, 50,000 calories. I mean, if it's true, then Marin has a remarkable metabolism to just, you know, burn through all that calories. And, like, yeah, she's gaining weight, but I feel like that's kind of unsurprising at that point, you know? I mean, I'm struggling to think of, like, how much food you would have to eat volume-wise to eat 50,000 calories, and it would have to be quite a bit, you know? So, I guess while I've been dithering about food and all that, it seems like Marin has sort of secretly attained one of her goals here, buying a DSLR camera, which, you know, it's not cheap, and, like, that's a Canon, which, I believe in reality it's spelled with two N's, you know, like the artillery piece rather than the biblical law, but, so I guess she just sort of made the decision herself. You know, that's kind of interesting because, like, in my mind, it was sort of set up that, like, Gojo was going to help with this, seeing as how he would ostensibly be her photographer. Although, you know, I guess it doesn't make too much of a difference if he wasn't involved in the decision. Although, that's interesting, I guess. She didn't really make a decision based off of technical specifications. So that's an interesting response. Fear. And I guess, you know, just sort of like understanding that she was willing to drop so much money on what was essentially a coincidence is, like, that's something, you know? So it's interesting that she wants to break in the camera without currently being able to cosplay. You know, that's, I guess a little less than ideal choice for breaking the thing in, but, you know, it's not my camera. Although, now I think about it, maybe this is more an opportunity for Gojo to sort of fall in love definitively, because, like, we're not going to get any cosplaying done here, but Marin is still a model effectively, and maybe a professional camera isn't a foolproof thing to get good pictures, but it could be done, you know? Maybe Gojo is a natural, you never know. And he's saying, like, I never knew cameras could be so fun, but I think what's really going on here is that Marin is the subject of the pictures, you know? Like, something tells me he wouldn't be saying the same thing if he was just taking pictures of anyone. You know, it's not like he's a photographer by trade or even just for fun. Although I suppose he is now. So I can't help but note that, like, a lot of the photos he's taking are just sort of candid. And in a way, that's pretty telling, you know, that, like, he can't help himself but take photos even when Marin isn't definitively posing for them. And I guess some of it is the magic of animation, but, like, they all come out really, really nice, where, you know, if nothing else, she looks kind of cute. And, like, that's something that can sort of be contrived in a medium like this, you know, taking real pictures, like, people blink, people pull weird facial expressions if they're in the middle of talking, but I don't know. I really like this sequence, if only because it sort of highlights Marin's just sort of natural beauty and personality, where really, no matter what Gojo does, the picture comes out nicely. And I feel like there's almost like a fairy tale quality to it. You know, something where, like, the princess is described as having such supernatural beauty that it defies all logic, you know, something like that. Okay, so interesting. So things are going along nicely, but now there's another cosplay event, and I thought Marin wasn't going to cosplay, but she's already floating the idea of Gojo being her photographer. So I guess, maybe she is going the route of having him modify a couple outfits. And I guess, more interestingly, she's interested in having him cosplay too. He's not going to, at least not right away, but it's interesting that that's on the table now. Although it does seem like Gojo's more interested in prop making. That is another interesting aspect of cosplay, whereby you make your own props, because, obviously, I've seen people cosplay Maka from Soul Eater, and you can't exactly carry around a gigantic scythe, so, you kind of have to, make your own stuff out of safer materials. I wonder if that's what Gojo's going to put his effort into now. Just because, the outfits are one thing, but I don't think Marin's ever really done something that requires a specific sort of prop. I mean, I guess if nothing else, Gojo's going to talk to someone, quote-unquote, in the industry. Huh. So that's interesting that, Gojo's, making accounts to talk to people and stuff like that. Which, that's really kind of outgoing for a guy like him, because, without Marin's influence, I don't think he would have done anything quite like that. Oh, that's nice. Marin's deciding to take a picture of Gojo's grandfather. I mean, I'm wondering if the idea is that it's intended as a keepsake or something, or if it's just, just for fun. Alright, well that's it for this episode. If you've enjoyed it, then by all means, tune in for the next one. See you, Space Cowboy.